All right, here's our video today, food coma. As you can see from that picture, that person is falling asleep on the job, perhaps because of food coma. And it's a common experience, especially if after a big meal, which we'll talk about. And of course, the scientific name, as you see on the bottom there, postprandial somnolence. That's the fancy word for it. It's just food coma. Again, uh, a lot of people, I'm sure we all have felt this after a large meal, especially a big holiday dinner. You feel this food coma. And we'll explain why. And again, it's normal reaction, and we'll explain why. And let's put some interesting words up here. So we have the parasympathetic nervous system. So you have your sympathetic nervous system, which is like fight or flight sympathetic. The fight and flight mode. So we go from we're hungry. So we'll say when you're hungry, you're in this kind of fight or flight mode. You're under stress because you're hungry. And that's the workings of the sympathetic nervous system. And then when you eat, you shift into the parasympathetic. Spell it right there. Long word, parasympathetic nervous system. So you're going from different modes, and this is not fight or flight, but this is rest and digest. So you're going from the fight or flight to rest and digest mode, and in this mode, put another arrow, bring it down here. So in this mode, the system, the parasympathetic system, is prioritizing digestion. So the priority is digestion, which makes sense, right? To digest all that food. And when you're doing that, the increase of blood flow is going to your digestive organs. And there is a reduction of blood flow, not so much, but there is a reduction of blood flow everywhere else. So increase blood flow, increase blood flow to digestive organs, which limits again blood flow everywhere else. So what you would get reduced alertness. You're not going to feel as sharp or as awake. You're going to have slight difficulty concentrating because you're full, right? And so you'll have slower cognitive processing. Simple as that. Now, there's many things going on here, and we'll talk about all those shifts. So another one we can talk about is insulin release. So when you consume a meal, you're basically your body is trying to get glucose. So when you consume a meal, especially if it's heavy in carbohydrates, your body's going to release insulin. It will release insulin no matter what, right? So it's releasing insulin so we can take the glucose in your blood to all your cells, all your 37 trillion cells. And this insulin surge could lead to a drop in blood sugar levels after the initial spike. So a drop in blood sugar levels will also contribute to fatigue. So let's clear this out and write some things down. And before that, just make sure you know we're going from a sympathetic nervous system to the parasympathetic nervous system, where the priority is digestion. So that's going to give you a little fatigue right there. All right. So we said we're in a prioritizing of digestion, and then there is insulin release. And with food coma, generally it's with really large meals, but they can happen depending on the person also. With even regular meals, you might feel a little tired. So again, with insulin, just a very basic here. When you eat food, your body has to convert that food into glucose. So the glucose, getting that glucose so you can make adenosine triphosphate, was just energy. So when food, when glucose does enter the bloodstream, the pancreas will release insulin. And insulin is just like an escort. It's going to, generally speaking, bring that. If I draw a cell here, let's say that's a cell. So basically insulin, let's say insulin is that little upside down trapezoid. It's going to kind of like knock on the door of the cell. And say the green is all that insulin that's coming into the cell now. So all that insulin out here will, enter into the cells, and they'll make ATP, adenosine triphosphate, was just basically energy, right? So all that glucose, that sugar, now that drop in sugar could cause fatigue. And then you hear these two proteins, these essential proteins you hear. Tryptophan. I'm sure we all have heard tryptophan. And of course, when people hear tryptophan, they always think of turkey. And foods high in tryptophan, and by the way, tryptophan again is an amino acid, and it's an amino acid that we have to get from food. It's essential. It's called an essential amino acid. We get it from food. Now, turkey gets a bad rap out of this because tryptophan is found in turkey, but it's found in a lot of protein. It's found in chicken, it's found in beef, found in cheese. So turkey gets the bad rap probably because of Thanksgiving. In fact, chicken breast probably has even more tryptophan than turkey. And even beef could have more tryptophan than turkey. And what tryptophan does is it plays a role with, put a little fancy arrow over here, serotonin. Let's write serotonin down. And serotonin, well, what tryptophan can do is help with the production of serotonin in the brain. And serotonin is a neurotransmitter. And it just plays a big role in sleep regulation. It makes you feel sleepy. It could also make you feel happy, too, in a sense. So tryptophan will increase serotonin levels. That can make you feel sleepy. So we have two things already. We have we have three things. Prioritizing digestion, right? Blood flow is going more to the digestive organs, which can make you feel a little sleepy, a little drowsy. Insulin release, the drop in sugar, can make you drowsy. The tryptophan increasing to serotonin, making serotonin, can make you feel sleepy. And by the way, if we add another arrow over here, serotonin could also be converted into melatonin. So we'll put melatonin over here, which also is a hormone that regulates sleep cycles. So you have all that happening there. Now, again, it's not just the tryptophan. It's not just tryptophan that's making serotonin and melatonin and so forth. They play a role. But again, it's the main cause is, again, we have a large meal size. That's really what does it. Because, again, when you're getting a large meal size and the digestive effort increases, you're diverting a lot of blood flow to the digestive organs. That alone can make you fatigued. And if your foods have high fat content, that could slow digestion, making you even more sleepy. And like we said here, there's insulin response. Remember, the insulin is released when sugar is in the blood, so the drop in blood sugar levels can make you sleepy. And there's also stuff like, if you think about a holiday meal, which turkey gets the bad rap, like Thanksgiving, maybe there's alcohol consumption. So alcohol consumption could actually further depress the central nervous system to make you sleepy. And on Thanksgiving, perhaps, when you're eating, maybe some people eat during the afternoon, and you have a natural circadian rhythm where you do get sleepy in the afternoon. There is this drop. So that is basically what food coma is. And how do you break out the effects of that? How do you lessen the effects of that? Well, maybe you can eat smaller meals. Again, during the holiday, I'm sure you're not doing that. Or maybe just enjoy the drowsiness and get on that couch and watch the football and take that nap. Well, that's our video today.